is this 70% rule has become harder and harder to hit as a real estate investor. The fact of the matter is, if I was playing in my local market only and only sourcing distressed wholesale deals at 70% of market value, I'd be out of business, right? But what we've been doing, we're getting asked this question a lot inside of our inner circle. And the fact of the matter is, we're in the most competitive real estate market that our country has ever seen. We have hedge fund buyers that are cornering the market, hiking up the real estate prices, causing more competition not only for wholesalers and real estate investors, but real estate agents as well. And looking at the prices traditionally, we've never seen such a huge price increase in the history of real estate. This post-COVID era has really just opened up a brand new arena in the real estate investment realm, and it basically sped up what was inevitably going to happen. So let's put ourselves back in 2022. Now, living inside of this post-COVID era, the entire playing field is different. When we look at the amount of US dollars that have been printed into circulation and the stimulus handouts, the business PPP, EIDL funding, what it has done is we've printed a bunch of dollars into the economy that don't really have any monetary backing. So smart investors across the globe are seeing that we're going to be going into a hyperinflationary scenario. In those cases, what is a smart investment? It's hard assets such as gold, commodities, and real estate. So the hedge fund buyers who have been buying in the market for several years, this sped up that projected growth for them, and they just opened up the floodgates when it comes to buying all of these single family properties. So let's take a quick look at traditional investing and look at traditional investing / wholesaling versus this hedge fund formula. Looking at traditional real estate investing. As a real estate investor, we've always been taught that the cardinal rule of investing is if we're going to put a property under contract, we have to lock it up at 70% of market value. That's the cardinal rule of investing. However, what we're seeing with this market being cornered with a big influx of buyers flooding the market is this 70% rule has become harder and harder to hit as a real estate investor. The fact of the matter is, if I was playing in my local market only and only sourcing distressed wholesale deals at 70% of market value, I'd be out of business, right? But what we've been doing as we're exercising and using our hedge fund relationships is we're utilizing the hedge fund formula that our team has put in place, where we've created a step-by-step guide to allow our investment partners to source deals in all the target markets that the hedge funds are deploying capital, right? So big markets like Atlanta, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Nashville, these larger metro areas where, yes, there's a high demand and a lot of competition, but what the hedge funds are doing is these hedge funds are paying 100% ARV, right? They're paying full market value for wholesale deals in select markets, as long as it fits the buy box. So what's happening is it's changing the entire game, and the entire trajectory of the wholesale industry is starting to shift as we know it. And I hate to say it, but those who are sitting on the sidelines, sticking to this old traditional model, hoping that they can continue staying afloat and finding distressed deals, they're in for a rude awakening, right? The old model is dying. There's a quote that says, "In times of change, the learners will inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to operate inside of a world that no longer exists. Let that sink in for a moment. We're sitting on the edge of a complete market disruption, right? The entire model is changing. The industry is shifting. Those who are not willing to step out and remain on the forefront of this market shift are going to get left behind, which is why I encourage you guys to start digging a little bit deeper. Start figuring out strategic ways where you can partner with different organizations, where you can source these wholesale deals and move them for more amounts of money, because what it does is it opens up the playing field where you can source these contracts and lock them up a little bit higher than your old, distressed, traditional wholesale deal. Let's take a quick look on the computer real quick. We'll pull up an article that's just talking about record low housing inventory, and we'll quickly walk through the back end of the partnership portal, giving you a little bit of the insight of what we're doing and how we formulated a game plan to source all these off-market opportunities and to funnel them out to our hedge fund partners.